folks, welcome back for another episode of Our Journeys. We are kicking things off with Jack of the Manic Persuasion, the Duke of Mania, as of right now, in Dominion colors, up against Steve plus Bull, or Steve Bull, or Steve Bull, or Steve plus sign Bull. I'm not entirely sure how that comes out. A sadist. Clearly, the name is trying to figure that out as an act of sadism to some degree, but Manic-Jack currently in the goofy arms of the Atronach, and Steve Bull courting the lady, hoping to leave her and head to the tower. You see here Manic-Jack with a significant health total, goodness gracious, significant health lead, and but Steve Bull has a full hand of cards, so this game is definitely not over. Manic-Jack, one of our... Ooh, nice premium squish. Yep. And things have decidedly gone sideways for Manic-Jack. When I first queued in, I was like, okay, it looks like he's pretty much got this wrapped up. Again, not looking at the decks or where they're at in the game or anything like that, just purely looking at life total and I think at the time, board presence, but things have definitely taken a turn for the worse. I mean, with the Ebonheart house, that is like the worst nightmare. If they're your opponent, your worst nightmare is having them ramp up significantly, and we might be getting a message from Jack, or Jack might be messaging somebody.
Superb work.
It's definitely not. He's not doing it out of stunned terror. Interesting. Did not use the Skeletal Mage. Does he not have anything big enough? Because Skeletal Mage does damage, so he could have done... I think he's baiting him. No. Wow, he has nothing big enough to actually use with... That seems a bit frivolous, not gonna lie. I mean, there's probably, I mean, you never know what Manic-Jack could have. He could have a big card coming down here. Okay, so that's why he played the Cloud Rest, so that he would have enough to be able to kill the Night Town Lord. Kabam! There he goes. I thought he might have been baiting out a Rune Break just to give himself more cards, but I did not realize he really hadn't lost any cards at this point. I mean, he lost a few, but not anything substantial. We see here, man, this card does not look terrifying in general, but the premium version, when his eyes like just slightly glow, I don't know why they went that route. He's supposed to be healing, and he looks scary as heck. We saw the douche ping. So now Steve plus Bull, lots of cards, lots of health. Does have 2 runes broken. Manic-Jack has 1 rune broken. And his Tenazar, I believe, this is a healing. Yeah, Consume a Creature. Another Night Talent and another Squish. An Archer's Gambit, just as bad in this particular case. And I'm afraid, I mean, never count Manic-Jack out. Never count anybody out, really. If you're willing to play, stick it through, you can turn things around. The game can go crazy, but unfortunately, everything is playing in Steve the Bull's favor at the moment. And I don't think he's sorry about it, folks. Don't think he's sorry. It's always a tricky thing when it comes to apologies. And to Manic-Jack credit, I mean, he's playing what looks to be Consume Dominion, which is something you just never see. So he does that probably more for the card draw than the healing, although certainly that's a factor. Belly G would be great. Well, it would be good just to remove the damage from the board, because that's a problem right now. But you know the Night Talon's going to come down again. That's the problem. Like I said, not counting Manic-Jack out, it's looking pretty grim, but I do think the Belly G is going to have to come into play here just to get that 9 damage off the board in the field lane. He can handle the shadow lane easily enough. Alright, he's looking for more options. Belly G is still an option. Or still an opportunity. Got another Tenar Zalvite Red-Eyed Demon, although this one is not... See? The non-premium is just kind of like a nice chill, like... I'm just a kitty at nighttime. Look at me with my nice quiver of arrows, and I guess I'm pilfering the. And he's got hair. That's a little weird. When I see Khajiit with like flowing manes, it's a little weird. Is this going to be a rage? And that's going to be the game, I do believe. Steve plus Bull, he had the dream. I mean, he is living the dream for the Ebon Heart. Like, that's exactly what you want. Yeah, and Manic-Jack is done. Well played, Manic. There's just not much you can do when the cards go that well. I mean, that is an incredible dream. But we are now jumping in with Jshadz, who is playing Empire. Not your typical Empire. Already we see Pack Wolf, we see Cliff Racer. These are not necessarily cards you would see in an Empire control deck that is so popular. In fact, I would venture to say I'd be surprised if we saw a Guardian come down. I just don't think that's his jam. But we do see Turian 22, who is in the Warrior. Both actually in the Warrior. I mean, it's early in the season. What is this? Essentially, we're in the first week. And kudos, Green Touch Spriggan. I do like that card very much. And I'm guessing he's using that in conjunction with like the Spirit Conjurer, the support that spits out little puppers whenever you drain. That's why I think Green Touch Spriggan, she's only valuable, or it's only valuable. Be she/it, anyway. You see what I was doing there? Yeah, he's got a lot of drain. And there it is, Conjure Spirit. Dang, I'm good. Holy cow, big brain. It was pretty much easy to call. Like that was, you had to be familiar with TESL, and that's about it. So cool. I mean, great. We're seeing two decks that are playing cards you don't usually see a whole lot of in the Pack Wolves and I gotta say, this art has just never really impressed me. I mean, it's better than I could do, for sure. Interesting he didn't target the 1/1. I thought he would have wanted to get that out of there, but... Oh, he did that, I think. Okay, so that nothing can harm Sai Sahan. But yeah, it's a weird... And like the whole body, like... I don't know if that's... I just don't know... It was not... It was a good thought. I don't know. Like concept, like to get Beast up on its legs, but oh my gosh, and Turian, that's the most wolves I've seen on a board. No, this is the most wolves I've seen on a board. 8! Oh my goodness gracious. At least we're seeing something fresh here, folks. And see, that was a great call by Jshadz to the injury there, because even with the buffs now, Sai Sahan is untouchable. So he'll be able to take out the Apex Wolf, or the, I mean, that said, he is facing a really ugly board right now, so he can take out the Apex Wolf and take no damage. Getting some good value out of Sai Sahan. And I mean, he's pushing that damage, which is great, but we know Turian, part of what makes his deck go with that Conjurer's Puppers, whatever they call it, Conjurer Spirit, is Drain. I wonder if he's running some Shearpoint Dragons in this as well. But yeah, those the wolves are going to be able to pilfer those. The alphas? Is this the alpha? The pack leader, that's the alpha. Nope, that's just a familiar. Funny, I don't remember it. It's not familiar to me. It's all relative, darn it. So pack leaders, summon 1/1 wolf. Doesn't have any way to buff them. Unless he has an Apex. I mean, he's got a decent amount of cards there. Jshadz running a little bit low, but also has inflicted quite a bit of damage and has 11-15. Okay. So what I think he's going to want to do... seeing that 3/3 is going to be able to take out Sai. I was going to say, hit with the 3/3. I mean, Turian is just building up a giant board. I think I've fought against Turian before. I'm not sure if it was with this account or my other one, but the name is familiar. And the game kind of it wasn't wolves. It was a different kind of deck, but it was one of those things. I mean, hey, like I've seen K Fluffy do it, so I know it can be done, and it's not exclusive to him. Or you could just hit the Cliff Racer in and punch for 9, get him halfway there. I'm guessing. Alright. Cute little baby puppers. But like, so yeah, so I've seen K Fluffy like play these, you know, and some other folks too, you know, Jshadz does it. I mean, there's a ton of folks who play off meta decks that are actually really good. Joseph is good at that as well. Playing off, they may not compete regularly with the top tier, but they're always in the mix. Oh no. Wow, and yeah, Turian's just gonna take it. Oh my gosh, and this is it. This is the thing, and you're like, how...
Nicely done.
That the deck doesn't get any better than that. Like, that is the ideal run. And I know it can happen naturally. All right, come on, Turian. No, man, come on, dude. Why? Why? Seriously? And I think that's what I remember too, like, because I don't have necessarily... oh, we do have New Era from Jshadz, which would have been handy if he'd survived one more turn. It's not there in time. Alrighty. Well, we got to see we saw wolves. So far it's proven to be a bit of a rough go rough go of it for the Friends and Friends Journeys. They've been hit by setbacks, not necessarily garbage. You know, this isn't okay. We saw the Hatchery Meddler meddled on itself.
Don't worry, I've got this.
And look at it again. Okay, and this is an event. This is not ladder or what do you call that thing? Arena. This is the event. This is the gauntlet. And I'll be honest, all I saw was that it didn't include, there were no unique or cool premium cards to get, so I'm not, this didn't catch my attention, so I'm not entirely sure what the parameters are. Clearly, there's no shenanigans with the lanes. I mean, we're seeing Triumphant Jarl, not Triumphant Jarl, Gerald Forager, and yeah.
Their time grows short.
Ooh, and there's a whiff there. So Moy 3456
Is gone.
And he is most assuredly going to eat a Spirit Knife. Going to give Bananaschwob another card. Dare I say, this may be the first W we come away with on today's video. But yeah, like I said, all the I mean, they were good games. You know, they weren't up against, you know, some wacky, boring decks. I mean, wolves, man, who knew? But yeah, it is a little bit of a bummer. It's always cool to see fresh decks. Obviously, you don't like to see your friends lose, but it's also a little bit of a bummer when you see a deck like operate at maximum efficiency, because you know there's no way in heck. I mean, if that deck could do that every time or with any regularity, it would be a top tier deck. And maybe we will see it come. Maybe he realized, found out a way to make it work. But I mean, just all the buffs on the right thing. I mean, that's the one thing that always gets me. There's always, when you see like those optimal cards come out, you're like, I know in your deck you have a combination of 6-7 cards that would be crap right now, that would do absolutely nothing in this situation. But every single one of the cards in your hand is perfect for this situation. It's mind-blowing. But anyway, oh, before I forget though, because I did see AyRoss on here, hopefully we'll jump into his game next. But I'm going to put a link in the description and maybe even in the comments so to be sure people see it. March 12th.
Let's shed some light
Aha.
on the problem.
Well, hopefully Moy 3456 is experiencing some legitimate technical difficulties and is in or is in some kind of solvable peril. A mild solvable peril, meaning a momentary peril, like, oh my gosh, I thought I dropped my drink, but I didn't, or it had the top on it. Yay, now I need to get back to it. I don't know what it is, but hopefully he's just not being a turd muffin about it. It doesn't matter because Bananaschwob is going to finish it off handsomely this turn, and we do get our first W of the day. Well done, Banana. All right, GuitaristOnBass. I thought for a second he's got this one wrapped up. But now it looks like, I mean, this is just going the other way. Again, we are seeing some fresh cards here. Frenzy to Lit. Don't see it very often, and sure as heck don't see it in premium. That is gorgeous, and that's why, because it's a freaking epic. That is an expensive card right there. Okay, AyRoss just sent me the deck list for his shenanigans that he's up to here. That's actually a pretty cool looking, that's got some good art to it. or good good enhancements to it. I mean, I don't know why it's emanating pulsing energy like that, but anywho, yeah. I came into the game thinking, oh, does he have... Wait. Did he have lethal there? 2, 3, 4. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Okay, so he's just hoping right now. He should get this win in before Guardians or New Era can hit. That's just about as bad. That's not horrible. That's game. Right? 3, 4, 5. No, he's 5. There it is. There it is. Good game. Boom and boom. Woo! Got it in under the wire. Empire was just about to ramp up there. Alrighty, so we have got CardSharkCharlie up against Spiralistics. Spiralistics, okay, a name I can pronounce. Huzzah! We are on the ladder here. Spiral among the thieves. CardShark, unfortunately, stuck with the ugly, goofy Atronox. Hoping to make that push to thievery, I'm sure. And let's see, February 26th. We got 2 more days. By the time you're seeing this, well, who knows? I'm not sure which video this one will find itself in. But we have definitely got a game on our hands, and this looks like... Now, I would say this is classic. There we go. There we go. To the untrained eye, it may look like this is classic or typical Telvanni, but then you see something like the Black Soul Gem and you realize, no. And Vastari? Yeah, Vastari. This is not a typical Telvanni. This is not your mother's Telvanni. This is something a little bit different. And look, and CardShark showing us, hey, look, see? This is not your typical game. Amulet and Soul Gem, though, that's a pretty good combination. The problem is... And actually, that's a great defensive card. He is definitely getting whittled down here, though, by Spiralistics. The Lone Warrior. I mean, right now every creature is pretty small, but it's a death by 1,000 cuts at this point. CardSharkCharlie is back to the wall, as it were. He will be able to get... I mean, with that Vastiri combines very well with the Amulet.
By Azura's light.
And she's just going to get weaker as trades are made. But you see, I mean, Spiralistics. Ooh, it's a bad target for it, and a horrible Spy Master. But yeah, Death Scythe. Really doing good work. Look at that. Wow, and Spiralistics acknowledging it just as well. I mean, I've got burned by that in the past. Not 10. I think I got 6. I think that my opponent healed for 6 or 8. 10 was amazing. CardShark really using that combination to great effect. Coming back from the brink. Look at that. Had 1 rune left. Did not look good on board, and now is sitting pretty over 20 health total, and Spiralistics out of cards for all intents and purposes. Let me see, CardShark's got the Clan Sorcerer in hand, but I think it's going to be Black Hand is going to help seal the deal here. Well, not here, I mean the next turn, obviously. But yeah, Spiralistics. He made that push. He made a great push, and he might have been able to close it out.
Face me, dog.
Even with the Amulet, it was pretty close, but that Death Scythe really, or the Scythe, whatever it's called, that really turned things around. I'm afraid Azura is not going to be able to help you this time, my friend. The Black Hand, that sees all.
Nicely done.
Oof, look at that. And one of them's a Drain Life. CardShark rocks! Okay, and we're catching AyRoss. I hopped into one of his games and earlier, and it was done before it began, essentially. So, or it was done on that turn. Alright, so we join AyRoss.NPO. This is... Okay, this is... He said this is a deck that's a little more... What was his verbiage there? slightly less focused version. Has more combos and can play the whole game, not just the end. So if you remember from the last video, or maybe it was the video before last, AyRoss had a nifty deck. It was also an assassin. Uses Ulfric Uprising and Wismother and what was the other big one? Oh, Doppelgangers to create some crazy stuff. So, you know, populate the board with a bunch of OP, amazing things like, you know, 17 Odavings or what have you. Does have the Mentor's Ring in this one, it would seem. There's the elusive Sanctuary Pet. Hopefully we can, you know, now that I got my epic Shadowfen Priest from the, you know, the last gauntlet, I believe it was, hopefully Brave and others like her who have a fondness for the Sanctuary Pet will be able to get their premium editions in the next gauntlet. Maybe that's how it'll go. We shall see. I am checking the comment again because it has more to do with the match here. Plus it shines a light on Dragon Priest Mask, Crucible Blacksmith, and Staff of Sparks, as well as Mentor's Ring. Alrighty. Yes, and that is the great reminder there. I was going to mention it in the last AyRoss game that ended before I had a chance to do anything. There is a tournament, like I said, I'll put it in the description and probably in the comments. March 12th. March 12th, mark your calendars. And I believe it starts at 12 Eastern time, so in the United States, well, he's in Canada. But, I mean, in any case, it is Eastern time, so kind of North American-centric time, but starts at 12, so I think that's a little later in the day for all you folks in Europe, overseas there. I think it's, I keep saying there, I need to stop doing that. I think that's going to end up being, like in the UK, that would be at 5 o'clock p.m., so a little bit of a later start for y'all. But hopefully you can get in on it. The prizes, I have to look at them again, but I know there are card packs, and they're given to first, second, and third place. I thought first place was like 30 packs. It might even be 60. I'll have to double check, but the link to where you would sign up is going to be in the description, so you all can join. The more the merrier, as you said in the last tournament. I started that Discord, the Legendary Remnant, initially just for tournament information to give that out to folks. But as things have gone, first of all, my tournament, it was very humble, very small, and I thought, okay, that's a great place to start with, and it is. But it hasn't really gotten bigger than that, mostly because this year I'm doing a lot more traveling, and it's coming in with more suddenty. It's more coming with more spontaneity, I guess. And then I've actually got some stuff going on in the evenings. I've talked about that before. I'm not trying to belabor that. There is a reason why I haven't been able to do bigger projects than essentially these journey videos.
I have many important things on my mind.
But yes, so anyway, if you're interested in a tournament with legit prizes, now there are banned cards like Workshop, the Skirmisher, I believe, the Goblin Skirmisher, the 4/4 that gives +2 to all gobos. That's not there. Like I said, Workshop. I think one of the Invade cards. I don't know if Invade as a whole is not. But that's on the main list. There's like a list. I think it's got about 5 or 6, and really just cards that probably had the game been in development a little bit longer, or had the devs been, you know, had they been looking at it longer and seeing what it's like now, would probably have made adjustments or nerfs. And so as they kind of make the game more unbalanced. It's not about whether or not you like the card, because like I said, I hate Mundus Stone. I still would submit it a 4-cost. Well, okay, it has the potential because of the RNG factor. You can't say for sure it's a broken card because you never know. It could give you a bunch of regen on, cards that have 1 health or 2 health. But it has the potential, as we've seen in some videos, to really just give the opponent a huge advantage. So as much as I dislike it, hate it in fact, as it is, I call it often the poop stone, I can't say that it's broken because, like I said, it's too inconsistent.
Right this way. Right this way.
Ooh, right this way. What a great combo there, and we get to see a nice premium Genius Path Mage. All right, so I'm gonna shut up and watch as AyRoss does his does his magic here. Oh my goodness, Mr. Bill Cipher, the clear-headed, might be a little bit nervous. Oh no! The sweet rolls of terror, but he's built a great board. I think Mr. Bill might have been thinking. Now, Mr. Bill, important to note, of course, he is also in the top 10, so he is not a player to be easily thwarted. Although, well, what is this? Hang on, how did this get here? I'm trying to remember how that got there. He didn't yank it from Andy. Huh. Good old fingers of the mountain, though. Wait, or lightning bolts. Goodness gracious, folks! I'm sorry. My mind's all aflutter. I'm all over the place, and I'm looking at various certain things here. I'm looking at the Genius Path Mage is amazing, but that's one of the most pronounced effects. And he said he screwed that up. I don't think it was all that bad, to be honest, but I do think we're going to see one heck of an ice storm here. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Thought he was going to hit Odaving, trade with his Ox, and just wipe everything out, but it looks like he has other plans. Alright, and he's just going on the offensive. You see, he is in the heights of the tower, looking to ascend to the Atronach. And Mr. Bill Cipher is already at rank 1 in the Thief, trying to steal his way into... Oh, that was really forced, wasn't it? Whatever. Trying to get into the legendary ranks as early as possible, it would seem. I'm sure we're going to see Elite Guardians very soon.
See you later.
And
move in shadow.
Unfortunately, Mr. Bill has a ton of cards, now has a good deal of magic to work with. 2 Ice Storms? Indeed. No board, and only 3 runes, but boy howdy. That's a heck of a card advantage, and Mana Marco. He's not going to take... Okay. And he isn't playing Conscription himself.
To me, you better be.
But we are seeing the Tinkerings. Ooh, that's I mean, it's a 6/6 guard, so it's not the worst, and it's going to get sacrificed here to become something greater. That's going to be a bit of a hurt. Whoa, 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 what was that? Revealing the Unseen. I have not seen that art in Revealing the Unseen before. And AyRoss is calling it.
Hello everyone, this is Vincenzo. Now you guys finally have a face to put to the voice and name from the person that you've seen on Schwaard's channel somewhat often. Mostly doing this voice or video recording. Schwaaard mentioned when we're playing Divinity that some people might like to see us both when we're playing, so this is me testing that out. Seeing if I can get it working, figuring out OBS and all that. And now I'm gonna try it with actually doing some gameplay, figuring out the audio video mixing. So the deck I'm gonna be using for this is gonna be Control Guildsworn. I have sent Schwaaard a video of this deck before, I should say. So y'all have probably already seen it, but this is the full list right here that y'all can use. So, and I have already sent them the deck code, so if you already have it, cool. If not, you can take a screenshot of this and use this. And I'm gonna go ahead and try and take it on the ladder, see what we can do with it. Almost picked the wrong one. And yeah. Alright, we got a Telvanni. And, just gonna let y'all know, unapologetically, I hate Telvanni. So, hopefully I don't get annoyed. Because that would not be a good first impression for my face, seeing my annoyed face all the time.
Of course I'm on your side.
Okay. Go ahead and do that for now. See if we can trade with it and make that useless.
Care to make a friendly wager?
That's even worse. I'll just do this, I guess, and play him.
There's a play. There's always a play.
I will spare
It
you.
looks like they're actually playing some kind of aggro Telvanni, so that's kind of a refreshing change from what you usually see. And
You bet on the wrong
I don't really
side.
hate Telvanni that much, but I really hate the very slow attrition grindy decks. Like, those are just, I don't see why people find that fun. I just don't get it.
They will meet their maker.
I have no patience for fools.
So, played her to try to set up a Dawnbreaker trade. Hopefully she doesn't get removed. Dishnik is always nice to see when you're going up against Telvanni. I'm actually not even going to do that. I will shackle this though, and throw down Lazaro.
Da da dee da. No, that's not right.
Because either way I can draw a card and force like a nice trade. See what Dima Plus does.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
Alright. Clutch.
Da dee da da. I'll get this yet.
This guy never appears when I need him.
You're so sweet.
here we
I
go.
can just eat you up.
Gall and pox.
I'll get rid of that. Just to prevent any weapon or buff shenanigans. Alright, Cliff Racer. Do that. Okay.
Gall and pox.
Scrumptious.
See what happens there. Looks like we're good. Yeah, I'll play that. He will still live anything but like an Ice Storm in combination with the Cliff Racer, but you know, we'll roll with the punches, see what happens.
Khajiit will keep you safe.
I don't think they don't have an Atronach. I don't think. Yeah.
I do not fear death.
So that is a non-issue. We can do that. It kind of sucks that I'm drawing like just all the 4 costs because it's really throwing off like kind of some of the stuff that I can play. But I will do that.
Out upon it.
Yeah, kind of the best thing. And of course. Alright, well, that's fine. You and your nice premium RP. so does the trade there.
What are we going
I was kind of expecting it to go to the 4-1, but I'm not complaining. I'm kind of considering javelining.
Shall we put in a dishonest
Actually, I should probably javelin that.
Gall and pox.
Kind of have to javelin that. And they aren't actually playing any supports. I do have, at least I think I have,
We must protect our strong.
at least belligerent giants and at least one more Dushnik. So we do have a little bit of support removal in case Telvanni does its altar amulet shenanigans, but I don't think it is. Surprisingly, it doesn't
I
seem
want
to
to
be.
be an assassin, like Narian.
Okay.
Think it's worth dying for.
Guards, to me!
Well, that's annoying. Alright, so I've got like a 3 and 4 shot of getting me something that's gonna instantly kill Aaron.
May the ancestors bless us.
We do. How nice. I think actually this will give me 5 health.
Out upon it!
So Daggerfall Mage is barely staying alive this whole game. Not much longer though.
I will have my right to be an assassin, like Narian.
Hiding will not save you.
Think it's worth dying for.
This is like the perfect god draw game. Sorry, man.
History
Get rid of
shall
this.
remember this day.
And I'll poke that. Seems good for now.
Here you've been looking for me.
Alright, next turn I'll Phalanx Exemplar.
I will have my vengeance.
Probably gonna have to javelin
The Fighters Guild stands
guy.
ever ready.
and 4, well, it'll be 9, 10, 11.
I'll send them all to oblivion.
I don't know, this gets me closer to winning. This makes me kind of a lot more safe.
History shall remember this day.
We'll get the guard into our hand.
Preparations have been made.
Alright. Hopefully Ayleid Guardians don't come down. Along with other shenanigans. I mean, we do have it if they also play
The forest
Guardians.
is our cloak.
Alright. I mean, like, you kind of have to kill this.
Our cloak.
I think that's it.
By the egg, a fine battle.
I will have my vengeance. An assassin, like Narian.
Yep. GG, Dima.
They'll never get the best of us.
And there you have it. First game, first recording. I hope y'all enjoyed that one.
Alrighty, and AyRoss has time for one more game before he goes. We're hoping to see his nifty assassin, Master Assassin Machination. I don't know. I don't know if I was trying. Oh, interesting.
The Black Hand sees all.
So Immaculate One, running AyRoss's favorite attribute, the intelligence. Immaculate One, the sadist, apparently have been doing a little bit of trolling on the Twitch channel. Just so you know, yes, AyRoss.NPO does have Twitch. Does have a Twitch channel, and actually... and he just commented too. All the decks look like something he would run, which I think is perhaps alluding that maybe some of his deck lists, Immaculate One's deck lists, do come from AyRoss's own repertoire, which he doesn't mind. I think what was it the see how when we get his ideas, the Battle Mage Crab, Salty Assault that actually helped push us to Legendary that one season. Ultimately, I think it was bequeathed from Andy to Dano, and from Dano to I think it was Body Bag, and it came to me. And yeah, and he was like, it's great to play it. Nice to get kind of a nod, though. Say, you know, hey, shout out. This deck came from whoever, which I think is great. One, it's legacy. It's kind of following where these great ideas come from, and just giving credit where credit's due. I mean, if you're going to play with somebody else's deck, at the very least, when you have the opportunity, give them credit. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't, you know, start up a conversation just to tell somebody, by the way, the deck that I beat you soundly with was from so-and-so. From the brilliant mind of so-and-so. You know, you're not going to do that. But, you know, when you can, give the credit where credit is due. Not to say that Immaculate One is playing an AyRoss deck, because, I mean, it's not, at a certain point, you know, especially if you're playing, like, you know, a single attribute deck like this. Oh, wow.
Let's do the fisting.
Wow. All right. Things are looking a little tight there. Manic-Jack blows his cover with that charge. So troll or no troll, Immaculate One has finished in the top 10. Again, he may have been doing it with borrowed ideas. So AyRoss, now notice, folks, that's it. You saw before he went on the aggressive against another Telvanni deck. Ooh, and that's going to be a fantastic lightning bolt. Takes out the ally. But, you know, that doesn't mean, that is going to be one heck of an ice storm. I believe that's what we're going to see this turn. He might break those runes just to help out, because Immaculate One is going to start running a little bit low on cards. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do an ice storm, to take out two of your own creatures. But Andy says, hey, you know what? You know, discretion is a better part of valor. And so we are seeing Immaculate One being a little chatty with the. Oh, and he has the 1/2. That is pretty much worst case scenario, and don't think the nicely done was genuine. Could be. Doesn't strike me as genuine. What are you gonna do? Watch the time there. Had all kinds of trouble today. The audio at first for the actual gameplay. I did a test just randomly. I was like, hey, I haven't done this in about a week. Let me go ahead and dust it off. Played it, and the audio was stuttering. It was a horrible. I'm hoping, I did a restart. Always restart. It's always a good thing to do. Ooh, so Abner could very well be mimicking. Well, really, that's kind of all he could do. It's a rough spot for Andy right now. He's looking at 12 damage right off the jump.
I will not be on the wrong side of history.
And he is going to spit out his own Atronach. But going back to the earlier point, at some point, like, especially if you're trying to climb, there is a relatively smaller pool of, like, top of the line cards you're going to want to play, and so decks may start to look the same, even though they may not. All right, he's going to spit out another one. So yeah, this is, unfortunately, I mean, the Ice Storm is awesome, and it would, boy, oh boy, that is rough. Yeah, he doesn't have enough to win.
Done.
And yeah,
This was a worthy contest.
I mean, we get a GG, which is Nice, I suppose. I really wish there was just a way to see him pull some shenanigans here, but I don't think he's going to be able to. He might take a few of them down with him. Yeah, he's like, okay, I'll go for the rune break now. Which, to his credit, even if he had broken that rune that one time, I mean, he would have been 3 damage closer. That's 19. He still wouldn't have been able to pull it off. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate if you go right from.
Grievous error.
Yeah. Wait, Dova, doesn't that trigger? Wouldn't that trigger his summon so he could do? Wouldn't he be able to mimic it? Oh! Wow! Wow! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Did he no, I mean no.
Well,
That's 17. Oh yeah, he's got so much reach. Still, what a great, oh my goodness, great. Yeah, that's another one AyRoss's go-tos. Like if you're, especially if you're running mono blue, that's when you got to go with. So yeah, Immaculate One has enough to finish him off. GG, Andy. Okay, we've been here before. This seems to be the theme. I come in late on a game, and it looks like our friend's journey, they've got him dead to rights, and then you see shenanigans. So let's see if Extract 61 can close this out. I believe it's the first time spectating Extract the Learned. Obviously, ideally, I would be.
No hard feelings, right?
Is that going to be enough? Doesn't.
I do not.
He's got. That is going to be enough. And Gheed, I think it's just Gheed. Gheed 99, the alchemist, pulling out a couple of guards, and we know. And there's a third guard. I mean, he's pretty much out of cards, so that's the one thing Extract has going for him, because he's also out of cards. And Jordan is good, but he has not reached. He's not a way to clear things out. Extract is. I mean, look at that, 22 Magicka. Holy cow! So this is the Ebon Heart not going the way you necessarily want it to. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I mean, look at that. Look at, he's going to win anyway. But you know, you don't have as many cards, and I mean, he hasn't even taken a hit. He hasn't lost a rune yet. So it's the deck going well. It's just not going amazing. Where you've got 12 cards in your 12 cards. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cards in your hand. And Gheed, I don't think Gheed's going to be able to stop the rush here. I mean, if he pulls another guard, I mean, she could draw a guard. I think when she pilfers, she gets a random creature.
Khajiit likes these.
So it looks like I don't think he has a guard. Like I said, he could pilfer for one. Because he can wipe out, he can take out what Extract has in that lane. But he can't take out that fighter's. Okay. It is not a guard. Perfect. Barrowstalker. The guard is not what you want to see here when you're trying to push that last bit of damage. 23 Magicka. My goodness gracious.
Khajiit doesn't need to be followed.
I think just Gheed realizes he's not going to be able to pull it off. And it's just kind of going maximum damage. And it looks like Extract is going to walk away with a win on this one.
Aha!
I mean, he made it pretty close. Or I should say, I mean, I want to be fair to Gheed, but this seems like one of the scenarios where when you look at a 3 to 10, or essentially a 10-0 victory there, it looks. God, I said there again. What's going on?
hard-fought.
Yeah, it looks a little bit closer than it was. Yeah. But, so I say, good game. Already, what is probably going to be the last video for today, we've got Extract61 up against Laughs 2002. Not sure if 2002 is birth year, which is crazy to think because that was my graduation from college year. Could be the college graduation, could be high school graduation, but we are at a point now in the timeline when enough time has passed. You could very well be in your 20s and have been born when I went to college.
I will keep Sotha-Sil's people alive.
I'll lead my family to glory.
And he is running an Ebonheart deck. I believe it's going to have... It's probably, you know, geared to that ramp early, get to that late game, get your Night Talon Lord down, and, you know, play that Unstoppable Rage. He is up against... Laughs 22 is 2002, the Walker of Mundus. Unfortunately, that means he walks in Poopstone. Poop. Poop, 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 poop. And already that lethal making herself no, but yeah. So this is but Laughs is running what looks to be a classic or typical, however you want to think of it, Telvanni. Okay, that's a little bit different. Not completely unheard of, but Rising of Bones. I'm pretty sure there was a list K Fluffy gave me that features that, but I mean, boy, it's given Extract a lot of contracts here. I think it's deciding. Okay, nope. I thought he might be deciding whether or not to use the Quicksilver Crossbow to grab another bit of ramp, but I don't think he needs it at this point. He just needs actual cards to play.
We must count on our wits.
Abiel poops in the sand. I swear that this I always think this is the like tapeworm or something. It's very weird, but I think it's the shadow is what it's supposed to be. I say that, I feel like I say that many times, so I do apologize. At some point I'm going to repeat myself. Well, I repeat myself a lot actually, but I try not to. I try to remember, okay, yeah, I've talked about that before, but it's just every time I see it, it's like, just weird looking. It's just, ugh. Anywho. Nice fork target with the poison dagger. Gonna give him some much needed card draw here. Martin Septim, great pickup there. There's that Night Talon Lord in conjunction with Unstoppable Rage. Unfortunately, you would have to use completed contracts to get Night Talon Lord out early. But it's tricky too. If this is a conscription Telvanni, you probably want to wait for a whole lane to spawn before you put down your Night Talon Lord and Unstoppable Rage. I don't know if I would have the patience to do that. But luckily, it is not I playing. It is Extract61.
What have we here?
And might see Martin. Martin's really... Well, he could throw down a completed contract, get another Necromancer down, perhaps. If he so desired, what would he bring back? There it is. Astrid, maybe? Astrid seems like a solid choice. And Astrid does indeed come back. Again, the card art, a little weird. Not a big fan of the hair. You know, what are you going to do? Ooh, Spirit Knife. Okay, so really leaning into the removal aspect. So yeah, Martin Septim probably is not going to survive very long if he gets played here. I'm guessing if he can be brought back if Extract is running Soul Tears. I think that's a suite or package that Ebonheart would run, but I am not sure.
Walk
with our Lord.
Good call there. At this point, it's more important that it's a 7 damage, more so than the healing factor, because Laughs is clearly not intending to attack anytime soon.
Shall heal you.
Okay, that's not much of a defense.
Nothing will stop my rise.
Alright, so Extract is going to be able to poke for 7. Chooses not to. Okay, so this is, oof, dangerous. I'm sensing an ice storm. I got the ice storm vibes. Feel it in my bones. Or maybe fingers.
I sense great power in you.
And if he didn't have it before, he's got it now. Although, he might be looking for a Cruel Fire Bloom, but I don't know. You have so many crappy targets for that. Actually, they're all pretty crappy. Alright. The douche, he's got 2, but definitely wanted to hold on to at least one of them for whenever the altar / amulet. Those are inevitable. There are many inevitable things in life, and I think those are 2 of them. Does choose to break the rune on this one, and it is going to cost him. He could play 2 douches and get rid of that. Or, I mean, he could play Unstoppable Rage if he really wanted to, but he probably wants to save that for a riper set of targets. But he's got 2 of them. One in the alternate art premium and one regular. We might see that come down. It's a little hard though. I mean, he's only broken 1 rune, but like I said, when you're playing Control, once you've committed to breaking runes, it's really hard. You've kind of said, I'm the aggressor, I'm going to go for it here. We might... Okay. I was going to say, we might have seen Knight Talon Lord, that way he could, in theory, perhaps, pick up anything that comes down in that lane, but... Okay. Laugh setting up a bit of a board for himself. Extract now not really having to worry about card draw. His main concern is going to be not letting that board get away from him. Because that's how it starts. And then you get like a conscription or something else, and suddenly you've got your 2 turns away from a game over. So it's really, really precarious here. As some people commented on my last video, it's funny. It's always great if you want to point out, a misplay of mine or anybody else really, or question. I will say though, when you see misplays, asking why somebody misplayed or didn't make a better play, usually it's because they just didn't see it. It's a very simple explanation. Although I do think I put in a good word for myself. I get it because I play a lot of aggro, more so mid-range, but aggro and mid-range. And I usually look at like lightning bolts and, items as my final push. That's how I'm going to get my last bit of damage, and that's my reach. And so I'm very reluctant to use it. In fact, I don't even consider it really. Wow, so we're seeing this is Laughs is doing some AyRoss shenanigans here, it would seem. This is, I don't think this is the Nixox combo. We certainly haven't seen enough ramp for it.
But I'm pretty close.
But he does get, was that the Galind? Huh. You limit 1 per deck. Well, that's the second one we've seen. Created by Galind. Yep, Galind. Okay. So, Laughs got 2 more of those 9 bodies. And like I said, Laughs now has 23. He's got lethal.
Interesting.
And, Extract fortunately does have Dark Seducer and Sank Pet, both of which can be played here. Both of which can really do some good work, but it's going to be close. And he could pilfer with his distiller there to get even more magicka to play with. I think he picks up 3 on a pilfer. Interesting. Okay. He does gain 3 magicka, but that's going to get him up to 5. So he's going to be able to put a... Interesting. Okay. So we could see either a Barrow Stalker or if he hits, get a douche. Not enough to do both.
We must protect our strong.
All right, so he has staved off. Unfortunately, though, Laughs has a lot of possible answers in those cards. I think what Extract wants is for Laughs to...
I have many important
I was going to say
things
flood
on
that.
my mind.
Okay, never mind. He's already seen one rage. That's the... I mean, obviously, if Laughs has been playing for any stretch of time... Wow. And that's probably going to be GG.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Yeah. Really... Oh my gosh, and another one. Devastating. But we are, like I said, it is a AyRoss Legacy. Although, like I said, AyRoss does play Assassin, doesn't go all the way in the Telvanni. But that is pretty much going to be a wrap. Because he's got it covered in both lanes. Now that does help. Fighters Guild in one lane, Dark Seducer in another. But again, the chances with 6 cards that Laughs will not have an answer to that is... Never mind. Who needs to question? And he's got another Device Experiments to finish the game.
I have many important
Oof.
things on my
Wow.
mind.
But hey, you got to see a good control deck go off there. And that, unfortunately, is where we have to leave it. I'm actually up against a little bit of a wall today in terms of time, so I'm not going to be able to go on as I normally do. I will shout out to Vincenzo. Huge thank you to him. He, as you would have seen, he was featured in this episode on camera, actually. As I said, he is gearing up to start his own channel. We'll be certainly touting that and pushing that out there as soon as he gets ramped up and kind of gets settled in and starts being able to produce with some regularity there. Gosh, there. I don't know why that's my place filler. But yeah, so thank you to Vincenzo for helping put a good game out there and give folks another perspective. Thank you all very much for watching, and yeah, until next time, keep playing.